You can wait a few seconds.
You don't want to see me?
Let's get notes done before you freak out.
You sit there.
Notes done before you freak out.
I go to school. If I still have zeros for this,
Turn it in again. That would be my suggestion. Victoria, I see your hand. Is it about the Earth Day shirts? Okay, ask me. Huh?
She helps up the home.
Oh, yes. I'm having to print more slips. I will bring the slips around during the triples quiz later. Not yet. Heck, if I talk long enough, the triples quiz might not even happen today. It might be pushed off another day. We'll see. In fact, let's do that because I got too much to say today. Triples quiz postponed until tomorrow unless you're ready today, and then you can go ahead and get that thing out the way. That's how important my notes are today. That's how important they are. I cannot have Sierra studying for a triples quiz during my notes today. My notes are too important for that. Okay, Brianna, if you want to move up front and take notes, you can. Okay, I feel my voice going out, so you just gotta bear with me. Oh no! Okay. Going. Okay. So when you walked in, you picked up obviously a blue sheet and some notes. I'm going to talk about the blue sheet while they turn junk in. Lord knows how I love junk turned in. The blue sheet, if Cassie wants to, she can use it on this next test, which I'm saying is next Tuesday. I'm saying that we're going to do 45, 45, and 90 today, 30, 60, 90 tomorrow, practice Friday, review Monday, test Tuesday. So Cassie can use this sheet on her test on Tuesday. But Cassie's going to give up 5 points for that. So she's going to go from 100 to a 95 automatically. Now, is that smart because this is going to be a detailed note thing so she knows she's getting stuff right? Yes. And then plus, lately on our test, we've added in a justification question. If Cassie writes a good enough response, I give bonus points on the justification question. So if Cassie's wanting to use this blue handout, what I would plan on doing is on my justification question, I would try to knock it out the park. I would try to have all the right answers, show my work, do all the steps we talked about before. Justify it, have an explanation, use your words. And you could probably get those 5 points back that you're going to lose.
Okay, so do we get 5 points for not using sheet?
No, you just won't get missed out on 5 points. Okay, so saying all that, Cassie has already turned in her giant pyramid. She did that. If you do your giant pyramid, you can get up to 18 points on the next test anyway. So Cassie is already at a bonus of a 13 anyway, so it's not a big deal for her. Yes, dear?
I was working them out, but I don't get it because when I worked it out and everything, I can't find the answer.
Okay, I'll come help you with let me look at it in a second. Let me get my notes and I'll look at it. Okay, all my words. I know. Words. Okay, so for today's bell ringer, of course, on a day when I don't need to do serious math, they want us to factor. When we factor with a leading coefficient of 1, we're trying to think of two things that add to the middle term, so two numbers that add to 17, and two numbers that multiply to give you 42. That's how we factor when there's a leading coefficient of 1. I need two numbers that add to 17, like 16 and 1, but 16 times 1 is not 42.
14 plus
Or like 6 times 7 is 42. But 6 plus 7 is 13, not 17. I already heard the answer, and I know you know it too. It is 14 and 3, because 14 times 3 is 42, and 14 plus 3 is 17. So our factors are x plus 14 and x plus 3. Now, when I started off this morning and I saw that one, I said, there's no way. I just can't do this today. So I said, skip me in first period, and I had at least 4 people who got the answer on their own without me talking about it. So then I was like, no, there is no need to skip that. My people are smart enough for this. What is the answer on number 2?
G.
Okay, again, we're looking for stuff that adds to give us negative 9, the middle term, multiplies to give us 20. So I know negative 7 and negative 2 is negative 9, but 2 times 7 is not 20. It has to be -4 and -5, because -4 plus -5 is -9. -4 times -5 is +20. It has to be G. Saying all that, and I have like 5 people who already tuned me out probably because we talked about factoring during the bell ringer. Yay, bell ringer's kicking us off to a great start today. Whew, Lord help us. Okay, remind me, there is one rule with Pythagorean theorem, and it has to deal with the C. What does the C have to be in the Pythagorean theorem? How do you find the hypotenuse?
Square root across the 90.
It's across from the 90-degree angle. So I'm going to go ahead and draw an arrow, and I'm going to label this one, and I'm going to stop spelling out hypotenuse because we don't have time for that. So I'm just going to put HYP for hypotenuse. I'm going to be very colorful if you want to be colorful. What do you think we call the yes, I can. Will you cut the lights off? What do you think we call over here and over here? What do we call them? We do. Thank you. I'm glad y'all know things.
I learned this last year.
Okay. So the other sides of the triangle, we're going to call the legs. Why do these two legs both match? Why do they both have an X? Flip to the other side, baby. Now, I heard side angle side this morning, and it's not that I don't believe you, but why do the two angles match? I mean, two sides match. Yeah, and the words came out of my mouth. Don't you hate it when you answer your own question? Here's why, and the words came out of my own mouth. Because two of the angles match. It is a 45, 45, 90. It has to be. 90 plus 45, that's 135. 180 minus 135 is 45. So if one's 45 and one's a 90, the other has to be a 45. Now, we've talked about this before, and I'm going to keep mentioning it. The sides and the angles, they go with each other. The 90-degree angle goes with the hypotenuse. It's the biggest angle. It goes with the biggest side. This angle goes with this side. This angle goes with this side. And since both of these angles match, both of these legs match. And then Julianne already stole my thunder because she already knows the answer to my next question. I asked, first and second, what kind of triangle is this then? And it's an isosceles right triangle. Since two sides match, it's going to be isosceles right triangle. Not just a right triangle, it's isosceles. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you ways to solve for either we're going to be solving for a leg or we're going to be solving for a hypotenuse. And I'm going to show you a formula for each that's always going to work. And then we're going to realize there's a pattern. If you get there's a pattern and you don't need the formulas, that's fine. You're thinking like a math person. That's great. Otherwise, most of us are always going to be creatures of habit. I like a formula. I use the formula. Formula works. Give me a formula. Okay. Let's look at these two examples first. What is X on this example? Okay, it's one of the legs. What number can I put on it? Okay, and then what can I put on this example for Y? For Y.
2 and square.
Yes, because the two legs match. So the first thing Dylan wants to do anytime it's 45, 45, 90 is show me he understands two legs match. Two legs match. That shows me he knows what he's doing.
I don't.
You're about to. Okay, so in our first two examples, we're given a leg. So I'm going to write a formula. If we're given a leg, that means we're looking for the hypotenuse. So we need a formula to solve for the hypotenuse. Our formula will be hypotenuse equals the square root of 2 times our leg. Yes, it's always going to be square root of 2 times the leg. Times the leg. And that dot is for times. Okay, so if I go to our first one, we were given a leg. I'm looking for the hypotenuse. My hypotenuse is going to equal square root of 2 times my leg. I know what my leg is. It's 3. So I'm actually going to multiply, and I'm going to get 3 square roots of 2. So y equals 3 square roots of 2. I did square root of 2 times my leg. My leg was 3. I just rearranged that and wrote 3 square roots of 2. We're going to do 1,000 more, I promise. Okay, on the next one, again, I'm given a leg, I need the hypotenuse. So if I'm given the leg, my formula is hypotenuse equals, I wrote that too tiny. It's square root of 2 times my leg, and I'm out of room. So square root of 2 times my leg is 2 square roots of 3. So again, my hypotenuse is square root of 2 times my leg, but my leg in this example is 2 square roots of 3. They're making it a little more complicated. This is one step up. You can if you want to, but I'm not looking for a decimal. It's just like when you try to give me a decimal and you know I'm looking for a simplified radical. What we do is we multiply the numbers on the outside. There's an understood 1, so 1 times 2 is 2. Then we multiply the numbers under the radical. So 2 times 3, which is 6. So again, what I'm saying is, let me circle that. I multiplied 2 times 3, because they were both under the house, and got 6. So my answer is 2 square roots of 6. That is what I'm looking for, not the decimal.
Okay.
That is what I want.
I got it.
Okay, are there any questions about my 2 examples so far?
Miss Compton?
Yes, dear.
How did you get 3 square roots? You just flipped them because
I did. I put the 3 in front. I always put the square root in the back.
so
The way if it was x times 3, wouldn't you rearrange it to 3x? It's the same idea to me. Yes, 2 times 3, and I got 6.
oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so what's different about my bottom 2 examples? What looks different about them?
There is no leg given.
Okay, so obviously I need to change up this formula. The first was for given the leg, and the next 2 are for given the hypotenuse. So I need a formula to find the leg. So there's one formula for the hypotenuse. I do one formula for the leg, and I hear her back there freaking out, and I'm going to use these words. While I write a formula, really, all I'm doing today, because my formula is going to be hypotenuse divided by square root of 2. All I'm doing today is either I'm going to multiply by the square root of 2, or I'm going to divide by the square root of 2. I say it's a formula, but really all I'm doing today is deciding, do I multiply by square root of 2, or do I divide by the square root of 2? Am I multiplying or am I dividing? I'm given a different piece of the triangle, that's why there's a different formula. Ma'am.
Why does it have to be square?
It's got to do with the relationship about it being 45, 45, 90. And if you're going to ask me that, then you're not going to like tomorrow. I just need you to accept it.
Would it be 4?
Okay? I just need you to accept it. It's always going to be 2. And think about 45, 45, 90s. You already knew 2 legs match. So square root of 2 kind of makes sense.
So I can use either of those formulas?
It depends on which one you're given. What are you given? So if we look at the bottom 2, in the bottom 2 examples, we're given the hypotenuse. Ms. Compton, how do you know that's the hypotenuse? Because it's across from the right angle. They gave me the hypotenuse. So given the hypotenuse, I need to find the leg. And it equals my hypotenuse, which is 4, divided by the square root of 2. So it's 4 divided by the square root of 2. I'm going to come back to that in just a second. For the bajillionth time, I'm not wanting decimals. No decimals.
So is it 2 and then square root of 2 plus 4 That's what I said.
Let me come back to that. Okay, let me do my second one. Given the hypotenuse, I was given the hypotenuse yet again. My leg is going to be, my hypotenuse for this one is 10 square roots of 2 divided by square root of 2. Okay, I know it doesn't look it.
Who would?
I know it doesn't look it. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to need you to hold it in. I'm going to need you to hold it in for like 0.2 seconds. I'm going to do 10 more examples of these, but you want me to get through more. Okay. I know it doesn't look it, but this one is a lot easier than the other one. Now here's why. what's going to happen in this way?
You factor out the square root of 2's.
The square root of 2's are going to cancel out. And my final answer is just going to be 10. So this is the kind you want. This is the kind you want. So Cassie was joking. She wants a lot more problems like that. Let's face it. Either you're given stuff on the leg, in which case it's not what she wants anyway. If you're given the hypotenuse, you're praying for a complicated hypotenuse. You want a complicated hypotenuse. Because the ones with a nice pretty number hypotenuse, like the third example, this ends up being the most work. So I would say this one is by far the hardest. Oh, yeah. So let's talk about why this one's the hardest. So here we are with this answer. And, you know, I did not invent math. I love math dearly, so I use it, and I'm going to explain it. It just is what it is. I can't change the rules. We have a rule that says no negative exponents, so you already know what to do about that, or at least you learned it in algebra class. Another rule in math class is we cannot have a square root in the denominator. This being down here in denominator, not allowed. So if you need to write that down, you can. If you just already knew that, that's great. We're not allowed to have that square root of 2 in the denominator. It's not allowed to stay there. My final answer cannot be like this. I will lose points. So we have to fix it. Here's how we're going to fix it. We're going to multiply by 1, but really, I'm going to multiply by my issue. My issue is that square root of 2, so I'm going to multiply both the top and the bottom by that square root of 2. And that's allowed because really that's multiplying by 1. Okay, so just bear with me for a second. If I multiply by that, and if I multiply straight across, 4 times square root of 2 is 4 square roots of 2. Square root of 2 times square root of 2, 2 times 2 is 4. So I have square root of 4. I wish I had left myself some more room, but I didn't. Okay, so again, I can't leave it like that. I've got to multiply by the issue to fix it. I multiply straight across. 4 times square root of 2 is 4 square roots of 2. Square root of 2 times square root of 2, that's square roots of 4. And then you would say, but Miss Compton, you said you couldn't have that square root in the bottom, and look, you still have a square root in the bottom. But I don't really. What am I going to do next? What is the square root of 4? 2. What is the square root of 4? 2. So I'm going to have 4 square roots of 2 divided by 2. I knew the square root of 4. It is 2. I knew that. I knew the square root of 4. It is 2. I'm sorry. You think this is confusing, then wait till tomorrow. Is that the answer? Are we done? We can do 4 divided by 2. They're not both in our house. We can't start canceling people if they're not both in our house. But I can do math. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So I have 2 square roots of 2.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I need you to keep, I'm not going to say panties in a wad on my YouTube video, but I really want to. I need you to keep it together. Oh, yeah, I guess I did. Huh. Oh, well. I need you to keep your act together. If I multiply straight across, again, I did 2 times 2, that's square root of 4. I know the square root of 4. That's 2. 4 divided by 2 is just 2. I'm going to work like 3 more of these before I even let you go today. If this one flips you out, don't worry, there's more to come. And again, if Savannah's worried about it, she can always fork up 5 points and keep this handout forever. It is going to end up being 5 square roots too. Yes. You can, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep on doing it out every single time. I've started it. I'm going to keep on going. That's how I'm going to do it. Don't mess me up now. I love you though. Okay. So, I have 4 more examples I'm going to work before I give you some. Oh, wait. Clearly, I'm not important today. I have 4 more examples to work. I'm telling you what. Okay, what did they give me on this one? Did they give me a leg or hypotenuse?
Which one is it?
Example 1.
Leg. They gave you a leg.
Then example 1?
They gave you they gave you like.
Okay, so you picked up a white piece of paper on the way in. Is the top white? That would make perfect sense. Okay, Danielle wants to show me she actually knows what I've been talking about today. So the first thing she's going to do, actually, before she solves anything, she's going to prove to me she understands it's 45, 45, 90. So Lord knows she's going to show me those two legs match. I can give her some pity points for that. Okay, so I was given the leg, so I need my formula. Hypotenuse equals my square root of 2 times my leg. So in my case, it's going to be square root of 2 times 9. So my answer is 9 square roots of 2.
Those ones are easy. I just don't like the other ones.
Are there any questions on that one? Okay, let's go ahead and look at the second one. What are we given in the second one?
The legs.
Okay, so if we're given the leg, again, we're going to need the same formula. And I see some people still writing, so it's okay. I'm just going to move on up a little. It's okay. We need hypotenuse equals square root of 2 times our leg. What is our leg in this case?
6 square roots of 2.
Square root of 2.
Okay, so I'm going to do 6 square roots of 2. So there's a little more math required in this one. But again, I can multiply the numbers under the house together. So I'm actually going to have 6 square roots of 4. But Brianna's not going to leave her answer like that. She gets that 6 square roots of 4 is really 6 times 2 because she knows the square root of 4 is 2. And 6 times 2 is really 12. Now, Brianna's getting most of her points from me from showing her work. She picked the right formula. She plugged in the right stuff. Good for her. She's trying to get that A, so she's going to keep on going and show me she can simplify. Are there any questions on example 1 or 2? Okay, let's do the third one. Why is it different? Okay, so on the third one, we're given the hypotenuse. And I just have to say this to those who get patterns. If you notice, the first one was 9 square roots of 2. And then the second one was 6 square roots of 2, 6 square roots of 2, 12. Guess what? This one's going to be 8 square roots of 2, 8 square roots of 2, 8. Like, there is a pattern. If you notice it, good for you. If not, keep using formulas. Okay, so if we're given the hypotenuse, the leg is our hypotenuse divided by the square root of 2. So in our case, it's going to be 8 divided by square root of 2. I cannot leave my answer like that. I cannot have that radical in the denominator. So I have to get rid of it. I multiply both the top and the bottom by the square root of 2. If I keep going, I'm going to multiply straight across that line. I get 8 square roots of 2 over square root of 4. Hey, I know the square root of 4. That's 2. I understand. And then 8 divided by 2, I know that. That's 4. 4 square roots of 2. So I said that wrong a second ago. There is a pattern. If you're noticing a pattern with the hypotenuse and legs, and you can figure it out, good for you. If not, I love formulas. Formulate all day. Are there any questions on the third? Because Sierra's shaking her head at me.
There's a question on all that. I don't know what we're doing.
Okay, that's not a question. I'm going to need a question, Savannah. Form a question, Savannah.
I don't even know how to form the question. This is the first thing I've not understood all of them.
Okay, do you have your formulas?
Yes.
Okay, then let's look at the fourth one. Everyone go with the third one besides Savannah. Okay, let's look at the back. No one answer Savannah. She can talk to me on her own. Savannah, what part of the triangle did they give us? The hypotenuse or a leg?
Oh, the hypotenuse.
Okay, if we're given the hypotenuse, what is the formula I wrote? Okay, I'm holding.
Oh, man.
It's on your blue sheet.
What are you looking for? You're looking for what? What are you trying to
She didn't have her blue one.
No, I have it on my...
You only have one formula? That's going to be half your issue. I have 2 formulas.
I only have one formula.
Okay, Sierra, what, can you give her your other formula? What is the other formula? Leg equals what?
Hypotenuse over square root of 2.
Say it, Sierra.
Oh, it equals the hypotenuse over the square root of 2.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yes, so what number am I going to plug in for the hypotenuse?
6.
Okay, so I'm going to have 6 divided by the square root of 2. I can't leave my answer like this. You're good till here. Say word, Sierra.
Hold on, I don't know where they're at. They're somewhere. Okay, so therefore you put.
I know you know what you're doing. They're a lot confused. Hold on.
I got the leg and it equals the hypotenuse over the square root of.
And you saw the hypotenuse was 6, so you plugged it in. You got that. You understand that I cannot have that in the denominator.
Yeah, so then don't you have to,
Multiply by what?
like, all square root of 2?
Yes, I'll accept that. Okay. Square root of 2 over square root of 2. Yeah, I'll accept that. All square root of 2. Okay.
Okay, I know, like, all of it.
Okay.
Where are you getting multiplying square root of 2 back?
I can't have that in the bottom. What were you doing when I was talking?
I was writing it all down. I just don't understand.
Okay. Talk to Brister for a second. Let me talk to Sierra. Sierra, keep going across. Multiply across the top. What do you get?
6 times the square root.
Over what? Square root of what? What's multiply the people under the house?
4.
Okay. What is the square root of 4, Sierra? Okay. What is 6 divided by 2, Sierra? My final answer is 3 square roots of 2. Are you happier?
Yeah.
Okay. Sierra, you're overthinking your life and breaking my heart. Don't do that.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Brianna, stop my recording. Okay. There are 6